Hello, welcome to another episode of XR Top Show. Today we are going to code Emacs Lisp, just coding Emacs Lisp. Okay, so let's begin. Today is just coding Emacs Lisp. Okay, here's today's talk show, and what we are gonna do is we are going to modify this command XR HTML lines to list. Okay, let's start to do that. So let me show you what does it do. So you have this is XR HTML mod. So you have something, like you have several lines of text, and you press a key, they become lines. So you can see the command is called XR HTML lines to text. Lines to list, and the keystroke I use is on the left side. I'm using a Vorak keyboard and XR fly keys, the most efficient Emacs key binding, more efficient than Vim, NeoVim. Showing browser, so you can see it makes several lines to a list. But what if each line is long, a short paragraph, okay, and something else? So you want to make them into a list, but not just by line, but rather by paragraph, by the text block. Each text block should be a line. So in that case, you make a selection, you call the same command just like before, tab C, so there it is. Showing browser, refresh, so you can see each of the block of text becomes a list item. Okay, so the difference is that one of them, A, B, C, let's say one of them is when you don't have a selection, lines becomes a list item. But if you do have a selection, let's do that. Let's do it here. If you do have a selection, then you do the command, then each text block becomes a list item. Okay, so this is superb. So, but what do I need to do? What I want to do is that, you see, there's something about the user interface. I want to redesign it. So this is about user interface design. Currently, they make a distinction whether to use each line or use each text block as a list item. Depends on whether you have selection. But I want to change that so the difference is more explicit. I want to change it so that the command will always just make lines to list. However, if you want to make text paragraph to list items, you have to call the universal command, which is the standard way for Emacs to have a command to have different behavior. Okay, so let me write it out so it's more clear. So for those who came here late, okay, if you are here, say hi. If you are not here, skip around, play at speed 1.5 or something. And don't forget to donate me, okay? Hello, I don't know. Are figure and figure caption standard HTML tags, or are they custom stuff? They are standard, okay? They are standard since the HTML5 around 2008 by the WHATWG group created by Google, Opera, because they want to promote, they want to create, especially Google. Opera kind of died. Opera was 20 years ago, was one of the greatest standard conforming browser. What's standard? W3C standard. That's a standard for web technology. HTML, CSS, DOM. Okay, so but around 2008, Google started by Opera. Opera is led by this Northern European guy who is a Microsoft hater. He's a scum. Okay, his name is whatever Swiss name. But anyway, remember the Opera founder. Okay, he started, then pretty soon joined by Google and Apple. Why do they want to do that? Why is Google Apple want to create a new HTML? Because, well, the gist of the reason is that they are commercial corporations. They want to control the HTML, especially Google, so that they can have, for example, Apple, they want canvas, the canvas tag. Okay, so let me show you. Canvas tag for like replacement of Flash. Why does Apple want canvas tag? Because they sell iPhone. They don't want Flash, but JavaScript is not good enough. So they created their own canvas, which is painting, and SVG. They don't want to use SVG because SVG is for vector graphics, line drawings. They want bitmap, so you can create games, big money. Apple want canvas, which is lousy technology. So Apple want canvas on their phone to make money, and Google, Google is like everything for they want to control the web. So Google, Apple joined Opera to create this what the fuck group, HTML5. So what is the what the fuck group? That is a separate organization, like a rebel. Okay, they say, W3C group, you should die. We will take over, basically. So that's a long history about web history. So you can go to, let me show you my pages. So showing browser, let me show you. Okay, so remove the camera. So you go to XR Talk Show, you go to xrli.info, then just search. You can search or just go to web history. Okay, that's a huge chapter of web history. Of course, eventually the W3C standard organization lost. So, the what the fuck group took over. So, web history. So let's say search for history. There it is. History of web tech. So for about 5 years, you actually have two web standards. One is from the what the fuck group. What's the proper name? So one of them is W3C. Okay, W3C. They are, you can recognize them by this badge. This badge was popular in 1990s and 2000s. It says, your web page is valid, and every programmer, especially the Unix elite idiots, they love this. They champion it. They say you must, your tag is invalid. Anyway, and that became history. And today the Zoomers don't know because, anyway, that's another long story. But let me just talk about the HTML standard and this. Okay, WHATWG, which stand for Web something working group. Okay, I just call it what the fuck group, versus W3C. W3C is a HTML standard started in around 1990. Okay, so the what working group versus W3C split. So for about 5 years, you have two versions of HTML standard. The W3C organization, which is also corrupt. They became, all these standard organizations, after 10 years, they become corrupt. Same thing happened to the Unicode consortium. Okay, that's why you have pregnant man emoji, a literal emoji, one single character of pregnant man. Corrupt organizations. So anyway, W3C is the standard HTML standard, and XML and web and DOM for JavaScript scripting, and SVG for line graphics on the web. Anyway, and versus that. So for about 5 years or so, you have two different standards. W3C claims their standard is the standard, while the Apple and Google group, what the fuck group, they they say we are the standard. Eventually W3C lost. Okay, so so what's the difference? Well, you can read. There's a difference because I dive into these, technical standards. So what is the example of a difference? Do I have it somewhere here? Somewhere, okay, I have like articles somewhere. But anyway, here is from their website, how they claim, W3C defends how they are the standard, while the the what working group says that they are the standard. For example, you can see the what the fuck group FAQ. What are the various versions of the HTML spec? So for example, this section, what the fuck group and the W3C HTML WG, are there plans to merge the groups? No, blah blah blah. And then which group has authority in the event of a dispute? Then the FAQ says the group from the what working group, they say the two groups have different specs, so each has authority over its spec. The specs can and have diverged on some topics. Unfortunately, these differences are not documented anywhere. Except I have some part of it. Okay, their difference. One of the difference is the tag. Some tags related to HTML table group or something. I forgot. I probably have it in another blog. And here is the W3C groups, what they say about the issue. False dichotomy, so each one claim their HTML is the standard. But eventually they merged. Okay, so eventually around what year? So do I have it there? I also have it documented. So this is a documentation of history, okay? Not ass kissing anybody. Many of the white people's documentation of history is like partially fake news. For example, especially around open group, the open source history, like Moedo reads that. Moedo is like, oh, this is the God book. This is the real history. And okay, so anyway, I'm digressing a lot. So eventually they merge. So your question about figure tag. So let's go to HTML index. Okay, figure tag and figure caption tag, they are standards by now for 15 years now. So it's supported by all browsers. So you can just search for figure. There it is. Okay, so they started 2008 or so, but they became usable in many browsers around 2011, figure and figure tag. Okay, so that's what I use. So that answers that question. Today's drink is apple juice. Okay, let's go back to HTML. Go back to code. So I need to do this, put this here, go back here, go back here. So this web history, okay, big giant chapter in history of web tech. Okay, so we are doing so we want to write out the difference. Okay, so this is what we are doing. This command, if no selection, it turns each line into a list item. If there is a selection, it turns each paragraph into a list item. Okay, that's the difference. Show in browser, there it is. Now let's colorify this. Now it's colored. Okay, we want to modify it so that to turn each paragraph into list, you call universal argument first. Okay, this is more Emacs convention. There it is. So this is what we want to do. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so let's jump to my source code. Describe key, press the key, and here it is. HTML lines to list, tab to go to the source code. Here's a command, copy it, new buffer, paste it, and save it as a new file. So a temp file. So we're gonna work on this temp file. So this is 36 lines of code. Okay, not very big. I don't know, so it's very interesting. I never knew about this. You should have a talk show about it. Actually, I did talk about history, but but I've done like today's episode is 579, so I already have 600 live stream videos. Almost all of them are live stream. So the issue with my because I like to do live stream, I like to do live, so it's real, genuine, not prepared, and modify, edit. So you just see the beautiful parts, like 5 minutes, and a lot of money, so you get a lot more views, because Google, YouTube, they don't promote live stream. Like live stream after 3 days is dead. Also because my style, when I do live stream, I talk over things. So today, Emacs Lisp, then web history, I talk over. So there's no, there's no kind of searchable, of all the topics I've talked about. So I've talked about like whole hour about web history, about the WHATWG group versus W3C more than one time. Okay. So, but let me talk about. So let me show you guys. I promote. I have a. If you go to Xa Talk Show index page, there's a talk show clips index. So I try to gather the best of my videos and the subtopics here. So if you want to see the best keyboard videos, you go to Xa Talk Show keyboards. This is a collection of the kind of my best, more focused talk shows video on keyboards. Okay, or if you are into Emacs or Emacs Lisp, here's a collection on Emacs or efficiency, workflow, or this one, for example. This one is very popular, very good. 1 hour talking about Emacs workflow and efficiency. And then Emacs Lisp from the ground up, a tutorial, and writing a major mod from the ground up. So the best collections of my Emacs and Emacs Lisp videos. Then you have several random kind of things, how to change your behavior. I talked about what is a schizoid. These are more like popular topics, because when you talk about technology programming, you have 1,000 times less people, but if you talk about general life issues like diet, which diet, what diet, and the meat diet or no meat diet, or you must be a vegan, or is red meat good, or you want to go with the dinosaur diet, that the Americans' obsession. Apple juice is good, okay? Just don't eat any man-made sugar, that white sugar or brown, even brown, okay? But 100% juice, if the box says 100% juice, it's good. Although you can go deeper, then you'll see tons of YouTube videos saying, oh, juice is actually just sugar, it's bad for you because this or that, or because chemistry, but they don't know actually nothing about actual biological cell mitochondria, biology, cellular biology, okay? If you want to talk about those things, you gotta go study cellular biology, because I'm a hardcore guy. I don't talk about the fluff. You don't know things, but you talk about the so anyway, so this collection of, what is a schizoid, that's, very popular among the 4chan types. They want to know, Elon Musk, how to judge a person, and parents ask for girlfriend. What can you do? And parents ask you, do you have a girlfriend yet? Do you have a girlfriend yet? They want grandchildren. So anyway, and then lots of my rants on the Unix hackers, so then about programming and programming language related issues, okay. Then Wolfram. So Wolfram is one of my main topics, so there's a lot. Okay, actually Wolfram, you just go to Sali Wolfram language. There's a dedicated page of collections of my Wolfram video tutorials, and there's math and geometry, okay, and some, so anyway, that is Kazaa Talk Show Clips Index. Just search it, you'll find it. Kazaa hot dog, saucy sauce, okay. So, guac, you are talking about the hot girl, Chinese coding girl, because, when you put a girl on your YouTube thumbnail, your viewership increases 10 times, something like that. But not so much live stream, because Google doesn't promote live stream. For example, I know it because if I, after a live stream, if I reshare it, I mean, to the on YouTube, I reshare it as just a video, exactly the same content, then that video gets a lot more view. So that's the situation. Google doesn't like, Google is nasty, there's lots of nasty things Google tries to do. So back to the code problem, okay, let's quickly, we already talked for 24 minutes, let's finish this one. So we got a code, so here's a code, okay, 36 lines of code. Let's shall we go over it? Let's see how we want to do this. Let me just quickly modify it to what I want it to do, okay. First of all, version number change, okay. So make each line into HTML list item of current selection of okay. So okay, just say that. Then if the region, so let's modify the documentation so to what we want it to be. Okay, remove that. Okay, wait. So if universal command is called, oh god, okay, so we are already using universal argument for something, Jesus, because when you have that, then it creates ordered list of lines. So it's now, this is a problem. I haven't thought about this. We are already using the universal argument. If you call that, then it makes a ordered list of lines. So that's a issue. I'm not sure what's, given the situation, I'm not sure what you wanna do now. So I have to think focused, okay. So make lines into a list, but sometimes you don't want each line to be a list item. You want each paragraph to be a list item. Is that needed? Yeah, sometimes it does. This happens when each of your line is multiple lines, but you still need to make a list. That happens in, that is not a common style. The common style for HTML is that usually each line is just a short, no more than, let's say, 100 characters. Then you use a list. But for my style, sometimes when I describe certain properties about a keyboard, keyboard review, for example, this support Bluetooth. This can also be used wireless with USB dongle. It also can be used USB. How long does the battery last, and how does a key feel? Like a bunch of features of a keyboard. I group them into a list. Okay, so typically each item is short, but sometimes it's a bit longer, more than one line. So that's why sometimes I want each list item to be a paragraph. Okay, that's just something I do. Less common out there, but should I continue that practice? Yes, I think so, because this actually often. Let's show some examples. Okay, so go to keyboard blog, lots of update. So search for let's say search for UL. Okay, it's gonna turn up 1,000 pages. Let's say, okay, so let's say search for ULLI. I want to find an example to show you guys where each list item is long. Okay, so let's see. Okay, not here. Let's search again, but this time so there are like a few thousand results. Like, okay, this is not good. Yeah, because it's searching the text, the navigation box like that. So there's like few thousand results. It's not what we want. Let's try this again. Anyway, we wasting time, so I do want that. So what you can do, so let's focus this Emacs Lisp first. Oh God. Yeah, the first issue is how do you want the program to behave. Okay, so right now it behaves like that. Okay, so if you call universal argument first, then you could have like ask user to have, whether you want list or ordered list, or ordered or unordered, and then whether you want, each line as a list item or each paragraph. Yeah, but I don't want to do that, because then every time you call this command with a universal argument, it's gonna ask you, a few things, then you have to answer. So I'm thinking, currently, let's not do this. Okay, save it, go back. I'm thinking, let's just not do this. Let's go back here. Okay, let's skip that. Okay, let's skip that. Now, okay, let me show you guys. If you want that command, let's see if it's available. Yes. Okay, so you go here. Here's a URL for that command. You can grab it and you can use it. Okay, HTML lines to list. It's part of XR HTML mod, and then you can you can also buy, just buy my tutorial. Okay, so here's a link, list. Let's put it here. Let's merge these two. First of all, yeah, put there, showing browser. Figure tag, what the fuck group versus W3C, lines to list, okay, and that's a code you can use. And this we skipped now. Let's do the next one, okay? So modify XHTML, convert to JPEG. Okay, let me show you what these do. For example, you have a PNG image, for example, this one, beautiful China girl, okay? Now, usually sometimes you want to convert to PNG to JPEG, because JPEG is smaller in file size. So let's see if I can, yeah, it's annoying. So you can see this file is right now PNG and it's 286 kilobytes. So I have a command. I can actually, let's make a copy, okay? Make a copy, rename XX. Let's just rename this to a simple name there, okay? Test, we're gonna test on this image, xx.png. So copy the file path, close. Okay, let's go back here. Let's go to the bottom and add that. Okay, there it is, the file path. Make a image figure and go to the bottom, so you can see this is our test file. Now this is a PNG. I want to make it JPEG, so I can just boom, 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 press 3 keys, no control, no meta. So you can see it calls image magic to convert it to JPEG. Okay, now you open the file and you go to the directory dir jump. You can see now it's half the size. Okay, so this command, convert to JPEG, it will only do that when the new JPEG file is smaller than original PNG. Okay, now, so why don't you always convert to JPEG? That's not good, because JPEG is lossy. That means each time you save a JPEG file, the quality, you lose some quality a little bit, usually imperceivable. But however, you save that file again, you lose another tiny bit of quality. So that's why on the web you see lots of these memes, or these meme pictures. They are very bad quality because they've been copied and saved and copied and saved. And for example, someone saw this picture, they like it, but they just want the face, so they screenshot, or in Photoshop they save it, crop. Every time you do that and save to JPEG, it loses a bit quality. Then another guy, they just want another part, so that's why all the images are lousy. But if it's a PNG is not lossy format, so you always have, doesn't matter you crop or whatever, how many times, always the original image quality, okay? That's the difference between JPEG and PNG. So that creates a problem, because sometimes you want PNG, sometimes you want JPEG, because JPEG actually saves significantly file size. For example, half right now. So what I want to do is that, this command, XHTML convert to JPEG. Let's see if it's on the web. I don't think so. So press the key, for example, go there. Yeah, so here's a command, but it's not on my website. You have to pay, buy my XHTML mod. You'll have it. So yeah, so this command will convert only if the new JPEG file is smaller. But what I want to do, okay, so I want to modify it so it will keep the new JPEG only if it's 20% smaller, okay? Yeah, because it's almost the same, just, a few bytes smaller. Sometimes that happens. I don't want to convert to JPEG because it's very lossy. So it's only only if it's 20%. Okay, let's do that. So go to the source code. So here's the source code, new buffer, save it, go to the top, copy the name, save it as xxdate, the command name .el. Okay, so we're gonna modify this command. Okay, so new date. If the new image is bigger, nothing is done. Else replace. Okay, let's modify. The new behavior should be, if the new image is 20% smaller in file size, okay, is if the new image saves less than 20% file size, then do nothing. Then nothing is done. Okay, this should be the new behavior. Okay, this is the old behavior. Old behavior. New behavior. Okay, old behavior. So something like that. So okay, so we need to do this. Let's push in to do this. Okay, so what does this command have to do? Basically, first of all, it needs to find the URL. So let me show you. Go to HTML. So when it needs to find the file path around your cursor, and that is search backward for image tag, then get grab the points. Okay, so yeah, so then you get the X path is the image file path. Then you create a new name. So if the new name exists, report error file already exists. Okay, then you call image magic to convert it. Then how do you call image magic? You just call a shell command, shell dash command. Then you check the file size. So yeah, so let's see. So the original file size is yeah, so this is how you get file size by file attributes. Okay, then the new file size. Okay, then you compare. Okay, so actually all we have to modify is this part. Okay, so compare size, if the original is greater than new, then you do the change. Basically you rename the file yeah, the X path is the original file path, so you rename it into a backup, and then you modify the current buffer so that it will change this part to the new file name, right? So first of all, you generate the file, you compare the size. If you want to make a change, you change the file name on the disk of the original file to a backup, so it's possible for you to revert, if you for some reason you don't like it. Then you also modify the cursor position to point to the new file. Okay, so that is what's this doing here, if the file size is greater. Otherwise just delete the new generated file. Okay, then tell the user about it. So all we have to do is modify this part. Okay, so let's see. So if the original image size, we want to like be 20% or something. If the original size times, okay, so times 0.8, let's say 0.7. So shrink the original size. Let's see how this work. So if the original size I think that's it, times 0.7 is greater than new, that means the original size is you know, this logic. Let's try to create a new logic. So this is like about Boolean logic. So if the original size is greater than the new size times 1.2 or 1.3, original is greater than the new size. Well, another way maybe, you know, kind of confusing. Let's do this way, okay? So if the new size divided by the original size, so divide, so let's say if the new size divided by the original size is less than, okay, not greater than, so less than, okay. If the new size divided by the original size is less than 0.8, okay, this is more intuitive, then we do the change, otherwise don't, okay. So let's try that. So remove that, okay. So let's see, new size divided by original size is less than 0.8. Okay, yeah, let's do this. So actually it should be pretty simple. We don't even there, okay. Now evaluate the buffer. Let's try it. Okay, so actually now actually let's change it to 0.5. You know, that means the new size is, let's make it severe so we can actually test it. So if the new size is actually just less than 1/3 of the original, that's what this means. Evaluate it so we can actually test it. So go here, go to diode, rename this so we have this back, okay. Then delete the PNG, open it, delete it, and make a few backup of the PNG so we can backup. Okay, so this PNG is 286. Okay, the new JPEG is 117. So it's not 1/3. So when we do this, let's say JPEG PNG. Okay, let's cut. Let's do it again. New, delete that. So open it. So this PNG is 280K. The JPEG would be 117. It is not 1/3 of the original. Okay, not enough. So when we call the command now, it will not replace the PNG. Let's try it. Do it. Oh, it did. Well, yeah, it did. So 1/3. Okay, let's do it. Let's delete. Let's do it again. Okay. Okay, let's now go back to our command. So what does this new size divided by? Now do we have to be concerned about int and float stuff? Let's say 2, 3, eval. Ah, fuck. You need to convert to float. That's why this is annoying part. Because 2 divided by 3 gets you 0. Okay, let's look up the documentation. Okay, I don't, so, well, I mean, so you have to into float, okay? Into float. Can you do that? Something float, okay? Is there some, I forgot what's going on with Emacs Lisp about. So let's go to Emacs Lisp tutorial. Lisp basics, number, okay? So binary, hexadecimal, octal input, by arbitrary number base input. Okay, so let's see arithmetics. Oh, we have convert number string. Okay, so you got to convert to float. Yeah, you have to. This is one of the annoying thing. Okay, so actually float. Now that's correct answer. You can see 0.666. Okay, so we just need to put the float there. So let's do it. There. Okay. Now let's grab that, go to talk show, and paste it. So because it's an interesting point. There, and copy the file path, put it here. Okay, that's an interesting point. Now let's do this again. Back to the code. Close that. Back to the code. Evaluate the buffer. Go back here. Now if we do it again, it will not convert. Do it. There it is. Now the message is, the wording of the message is a bit wrong because it's not larger, but it's so let's fix the wording. Okay, new image size is let's see 0.3, let's say 0.6. so new image size is not 0.6 of original size. Nothing is done, so that makes more sense. We might have to trick this number because, yeah, anyway. Let's say 7. It's not to be too, 7, okay? So now this code is done and it's valid. So let's copy that to the talk show. Behavior. Let's just say that new behavior. Okay. Then we cut that code back to HTML, XHTML. Paste the new code. Now the old code, cut it and put it to this temp file. Okay, save it, close. Showing browser. Let's go to XHTML. So this one we ignore. Close. Eval the buffer. XHTML mod. Now let's see the difference. Okay, this command vc-diff. What? no change. Oh, not here. So close that. XHTML commands evolve of a VC diff. There it is. That's the difference we changed today. Basically just over here. Fantastic. Okay. So fantastic XHTML commands. So now close that. Showing browser. We are done basically. So let's see. Should I put the code so you guys can use it? Answer. Let's go. Let's see. Now, if the command uses some other command, then yeah, it does. This get thing at point, that's free. But then you have core image magic. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not going to publish this code because then you need to also image magic, which you can do, by the way. You can easily do by core shell command. Yeah, but I suppose for most people, it takes some experience to code. Anyway, I think that's it for today. Close that. Showing browser. I think that's it. Anything else? So let me read the comments, and that's it for today. What do you think of .shtml server-side include? I never used it, and that was technology of late 90s to early 2000s. Okay, nobody uses that anymore. Server-side include. I forgot even exactly. I mean, SHTML. Nobody uses that today. Okay. But you are probably interested because you are like not trying to trying to go use the Asian technology. Computer Hope, that's all Pajit site, I suppose. File, all these are scums. These are all these. Well, except Apache, McAfee, the scum, deep state controlled virus program, antivirus program. This file.org, that's by some scammers, tech geekers, they trying to make money. So they try to list all file name extensions, like things like that, then copycat. So you have lots of them, file format, then another one, file info. I just want Wikipedia. Okay, Wikipedia, of course, is also very corrupt now because it's corrupted by deep state. So on Wikipedia, let me say this again. If you search anything technical information, math, physics, chemistry, programming, no problem. If you search for esoteric history, like China history 1,000 years ago, America history 1,000 years ago, Europe history 1,000 years ago, no problem. But if you search anything on the news, let's say whatever war currently going on, or Middle East or Ukraine, or whatever, China, something about China and Taiwan, or about American election, everything you read is complete fake news. Okay, that's how you judge, Wikipedia. By the way, I have a 1 hour live stream on how to judge Wikipedia information correctness, trustworthiness, sometimes ago, half a year ago or something. In fact, I have more than one live stream about that. So anyway, server-side includes is a simple interpreted server-side scripting language used almost exclusively for the World Wide Web. It is most used for including the content of one or more files into a web page. That's shit. Okay, That's just like include from the C idiots. The C scums first created this, like, you just include the whole file, no library, no module, no namespace. You just say include this file, and it behaves as if the whole file is in this file. That's basically shit. Anyway, bye guys. Anything else? Bye guys. 1 hour exactly. Stop, I don't know, stop talking about that thing, okay? Stop, if we, don't mention it for no reason. I mean, that, that's a deep state thing, but some people, there are some people, good people, okay? So, don't just randomly throw that word out. Okay, bye guys.